Hello everyone and welcome to another Abbasid build order guide. I'm going to be showing you an aggression build for the Abbasid that relies on opening up with a 1TC, the military wing, whilst getting some eco upgrades and then going into a second TC. This is a build that is really good for dealing with feudal aggression and taking control of the map rather quickly so that you're not booming with a low percentage of the map covered. You can see the villagers in the villager count in the top right here. And then I'm going to be running you through the opening part of the build order, which is kind of similar to the build that I made 4 months ago, which was a 2TC Abbasid, fast wheelbarrow, fresh foodstuffs, and I think it was Golden Age as well. So really quick one, you can go and check out that one as well. But I'm also going to run out the opening part here. But the build order here changes around age up because we're going to go with a new military wing that spawns 2 archers and 2 spearmen. And then we open up with a stable after. Alright, we're going to play against LaSh. This is a real game. He plays as the Delhi Sultanate, which relies on getting sacred sites. And denying that is key to defeating that civilization, because not having sacred sites means not getting as quickly to castle and getting high quality units out. Okay, so we open up with 5 villages on sheep. 1 builds a house, 1 builds a mill. The next villager coming out from the town center will go and help build the mill. And these guys will, after 1 trip here to the sheep, go to the berries. Abbasid dynasty have some berry bonuses that we want to utilize. Plus, gathering sheep later on instead of first off in the match makes it so that you always have a safe resource to go and gather sheep from. You can also use the sheep later on to be more effective in walking time towards resources. So it's good for timing as well, but you don't have to gather them immediately. We are going to be building a mining camp with our 8th villager, and the 9th villager will be building a house of wisdom in a spot where you can connect as many buildings as you possibly can in order to get Golden Age 1. And so I'm going to build it right here. I'm going to get the lumber camp later on covered, mining camp, plus the mill is, I think the mill here is covered by the house itself to the town center. But I thought right here would be the right spot. We're going to go 7 on food, and then 4 on gold, and then another 1 to food afterwards. In the meantime, our scout is going around our base to gather all of these single straggler sheep. That's really good for getting a stable sheep count every game. So you can do this with any civilization that you play if you want to be guaranteed to have at least 5-6 sheep. Go around your base first and then go out on the map. Maybe go to your opponent's base after. But don't be scared to do some more aggressive scouting with the berry civs, so that would be Abbasid dynasty and the Delhi Sultanate, because you can take a lot of sheep from your opponent that way, and you rely on berries, and so you have a food source already, but it is a bit more risky. Okay, so we've dropped another sheep here, another villager on the sheep, so we have 8-4. We're going to age up now with the military wing. And there we go. After that, we will be putting 5 villagers onto a straggler tree, and another villager from the town center will be going to the woodline. That will sync up, and you'll be able to build a lumber camp with the villager, whereas the other villagers will be chopping the wood line whilst you build the lumber camp. You don't have to think so much into how effective you are with these small micro things when it comes to villagers, but these things are nice, gives you momentum, and it makes the build more clean. So if you're learning the build order, sure, you could try to do this, but it's more important that you get the villager distribution and the order of things correctly first. Our scout is now going to go to the enemy's base and see that the opponent now has a Tower of Victory. Tower of Victory is something that's rather new on ladder. Most people run Dome of Faith, but it seems Tower of Victory is more popular at the moment because of its buffs lately and its changes. Tower of Victory indicates archers, And so opening up the stable is a really effective way to deal with the assumed daily opener in this case. Of course, they can go barracks and stable as well, but you want to force that. They like to build up death balls of archers because of the increased attack speed of infantry. But you can counter that. We go to 8 on wood here, and then we rally on food, because when we age up here in a few seconds, we're going to be building a horseman as quickly as possible after we build the stable. And that horseman will go with the 2 archers and 2 spearmen, and then go and harass this very opportune harassment point here, which is a gold and berries. Yep. Wheelbarrow is now queued at 1:03 and 20 seconds. We will continue to gather gold until we reach 3590. The reason we do that is because if you have gathered gold to 3590, you can get fresh foodstuffs, and you can get wheelbarrow, and you can get the spearman upgrade. Spearman upgrade is going to be really nice if your opponent opens up with a stable, because then you can go and upgrade that without having to put villagers back on gold. Spearman is the only unit that needs an upgrade from Dark Age. We now do a drop off here, and then we build the stable. I'm going to build it with 2 villagers to be a bit quicker. You don't have to do that, but you can. We are rallying to food, so we can see we have 6 on food, and we have 8 on wood. 2 are building the stable, and then they go back. And we have our units here that are key for this build order to work going forward. Stable is almost up, and then we're going to be building a horseman as quickly as possible. Right there. We're scouting the enemy. He has some villagers here. And so we're going to go there and poke to him, try to idle his villagers as much as possible. The more you idle, well, the more efficiency, the more value you get out of these units. You don't want to lose your units to the town center, but try to see if you can't do damage. Now these units have nothing to do. I know his villagers are only going to be on wood and on the sheep that he has. So they're burning down the house whilst I wait for my reinforcements, which would be stable. That would be countering the assumed archer range that he's going to be building. In the meantime, we have dropped 2 houses and a mining camp, and we're going to work towards getting a second town center. As the Abbasid dynasty, it's important that you take a look at where do I want to build that second town center. Often you want to drop it on food, like the deer here, maybe a bit further up, and then push the deer so you can get berries as well. That's a good spot to go for. You could also go here, and then it would be more of a defensive town center that acts as a tower, so you get your gold covered and your wood. But it's important for us to get a lot of food, because we are going to be staying in feudal for some time. And we're going to play aggressive, and so we're not going to be building a lot of farms. We now see him going double blacksmith was what I was trying to say. And that indicates that he has only a few production buildings, maybe only 1. And so I spot the archer range. He's making archers. And the horseman will counter that. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. You can see up here we have 10 on stone. And I think I'm rallying to food right now. Yeah. Building more horsemen. Getting the necessary resources for the TC. Dropping it. I'm circling around the base. Always looking for information with the scout. And I see he's still heavy on wood. And that means more production buildings. A lot of archers as well. Because you need a lot on wood if you want to make archers. That makes it so that I can just keep on making horsemen. Until I spot something else. So I'm killing the deer here whilst I wait for the rest of the wood that I need to come through. I'm going to be harassed a bit by the scout. I end up killing the scout here with the villagers. That's where wheelbarrow is really good, because you gain a lot of extra movement speed. And so you can effectively deal with small harassments like this. Even horsemen you can surround and then kill. Here we see the archer blob is slowly building up. We're just standing a little bit idle here. There's some micromanagement to do over here. The base also has to be rallying to the correct resources. And we need to get that second TC up. We played a bit more passively right now, because we want to try to catch him off guard out of his base. We know he's playing Delhi, so we know he's gonna go for sacred sites. And so I see him going for it right here. He's brought a scholar, and then he has 5 archers. This is great for me because I have horsemen. Archers can't really do anything against them without spearmen. And so I just immediately go and take these units out. This is where the game really takes a turn for him, because even though he was harassed before, this is a lot of resources to lose without getting any value. I should probably not have brought my spearmen to this fight. I should probably only have attacked with horsemen. But as you do, sometimes you make mistakes. If he had brought spearmen, I would have brought the archers. If he had brought horsemen, I would have brought the spearmen. That's one way to do things. Now he's brought horsemen. He really wants to get the sacred sites because it's a lot of free gold for him. So he's going to try again. We're going to go in again. We're only going to focus the archers with our horsemen because there's no reason to fight the horsemen. And I think this fight continues. He has a rally point here now with archers, and so I can continue on dealing with them. It's important to keep harassing, scouting, and find important information. That is probably it for the build order. The games that you play will be different, and so I can sit and show you how I'm going to play this game, but that's not really what the build order is about. A build order is, to me, an opening, and so this is how you open up with Abbasid Dynasty, and I would say this works against pretty much all civs. So, you have 2 TCs, you have secured your food sources, you're building more production, you have a blacksmith, getting upgrades, putting villages here on gold. You're taking good fights, and so the game can go the direction that you want it to. Do you want to stay in feudal? Do you want to go castle? Do you want to get maybe another TC? That would probably be excessive in this case. As you do, keep harassing, and then take good trades, and then you can close out the game later on. Because as Abbasid Dynasty, a good eco means, well, a win. Right. As usual, in the description below you can find a transcription of the build order, and so you can follow along if you want to try to rewatch the video, play it yourself, the build order, and if you can't remember it, then I got you. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you feel like it helped you, and if you want to, and have a good day. See ya.